All right, guys. So science, page 78. All right, guys. Science, page 78. Page 78, science. Our next habitat. All right, let's go ahead. So, guys, last week, well, week before our break, we visited the forest habitat. Okay. Our forest habitat is mostly covered by trees. A lot of the animals that live in the forest habitat use the trees for their homes, to hide, for things like that. The water in the forest habitat is usually lakes, ponds, and rivers. And we talked about the top predator in the forest habitat will be a bear or an owl. And they usually hunt other animals, a wolf as well. There's a lot of predators, but the top of the food chain will belong to the bear. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and cross over to a different kind of habitat. This habitat we usually find in Africa. That's where we'll find this kind of habitat, and it's a savanna. Okay, it's also savanna. Somebody may say desert, but it's a savanna habitat. Okay, so let's look at 78. All right, Kenley. Huh? No, yeah, I'm gonna just go after. What's your favorite animals, Mike? Lions, giraffe, elephant, and zebras. The savanna is a grassland habitat. That means it is a large piece of flat grassy land. We want to no, that's good. Okay, so what's cool about the savannah is that most of the large animals that we think about, like giraffes, lions, tigers, I'm sorry, yeah, tiger, I guess you say, well, lions, giraffes, zebras, elephants, they live in the savannah habitat. So because these animals are really large, wouldn't the savannah be large as well? Yes. So the savanna is known as a grassland habitat. What that means is most of the habitat is strictly grass. Lots of open fields with a lot of grass because a lot of the animals, which we'll talk about in a second, are grazers. And we'll get to that. But the savanna is a dry, hot habitat. It's also a grassland. So most of it, what I mean by that is most of it is grass, a large piece of flat grassland. So when we visited the ocean and the pond, that was water habitats. When we went to the forest, it was a land habitat. And this one is strictly like a grassland because it's a lot of grass. Okay, let's talk about the water in the savanna. What you doing? Yeah, come on. There are two seasons in the rainy season, the dry season. Water is never difficult during the rainy season. During the dry season, many animals migrate
Find water while others search for plant that stores water.
Okay, so there are two seasons in the savannah. There's a dry season and a rainy season. Now, it sounds just like what we said. Of course, during the rainy season, what do we get a lot of? Rain, a lot of water, a lot of rain. But unfortunately, in the savannah, they also go through what's called a dry season. And during that dry season, it is very hard to find water. It's usually a hot season. The water dries up, there's barely any rain, and it's a really rough season for the animals. And so they'll try to migrate going from different places to find water. They may go to one area, find water, then the water dries up. The animals will then travel to another area where they'll try to find water. So the dry season is really hard for the animals in the savannah because they need water, right? They really do. And so when there isn't any water, it's a tough time for the animals in the savannah. So the rainy season is better for them versus the dry season. Okay, 79, space. What are you doing? You guys are here. Push your chair over. Stop. Y'all stop that, please. Okay, but y'all stop. Okay, space.
The savannah has the largest no, air of land area of land. The savannah has a largest area of land that stretches as far as the eye and can see. Large animals can live there. Animals can run fast to also live in the savannah. The cheetah is the fastest land animal. While some of the animals in the savannah.
No, that's it. Okay. So, like I said earlier, because there's a lot of large animals that live in the savannah, like elephants, giraffes, lions, these are large animals. And then you have animals that are in groups, like herds, like gazelles, like zebras. There are hundreds at one time. Of course, the savannah can't be small, right? It wouldn't be able to fit all of those animals. So the savannah, of course, is large because there's a lot of large animals that live inside of the savannah habitat. So the land in the savannah is a lot. It's a lot of land. It's a large area because there's so many animals that live. Hyenas. Like I said, you have lions, lions, giraffes, elephants, hyenas. You have jaguars, cheetahs, so many types of animals that live in the savannah. So of course, the savannah needs a lot of land for these animals. And then the cheetah is the fastest land animal, and they need a lot of space to run, right? So of course, the savannah is a large habitat. Okay, food. Right? Food.
Wow. Animals in the savannah are predators. Many animals depend on grass for food. These animals are called grazers. The largest grazing animal is an elephant. Elephants eat grasses, leaves, and fruit. Elephants keep the savannas clear by eating shrubs and trees. This helps the grass grow.
Okay. So of course we know a lot of the animals in the savannah are predators, like a lion, a cheetah, hyenas, baboons. They are predators. They hunt for other animals. But a lot of the other animals in the savannah are what we call grazers, and that's because they eat a lot of grass, leaves, and fruit. So that's like elephants, giraffes, gazelles, zebras. These animals are known as grazers because that's what they do. They eat strictly grass, plants, and fruit. And so this also helps to keep the grass, as you can see, short and low as well. So the top predators in the savannah will probably be the lion. Most people would say the lion is the top predator because he's usually the one hunting other animals, but the cheetah is as well. The cheetah is considered a top predator. You also have alligators that are in like the water, crocodiles, I'm sorry, that are in the water in the savannah. Hippos as well. And so there's a lot of different animals in the savannah, hippopotamus, crocodiles, a lot, as we can see, right? There's so many types of animals that live in the savannah. So the animals that eat strictly the grass, they are called grazers. That will be like gazelles, zebras, animals like that. Okay, let's look at 80, Dennis, shelter.
The savannah does not provide shelter, so many animals stay together in groups. Elephants stay together in herds. The older elephants work together to protect the young elephants from predators. Lions are powerful predators. They are large and strong and can run very fast. Lions live in groups called prides. A pride can be a large or small community of lions. Lions hunt not only for themselves, but for all the lions in the pride, especially the lion cub. Jungle Day.
Okay. All right, so the savannah doesn't provide shelter because, yes, there are trees, but not enough trees for the animals to live in. So a lot of the animals will stay together in herds, which is like a group of them together. Elephants, gazelles, zebras, buffalo, a lot of them stay together in groups, especially whenever like the predators are out hunting. They can probably fight off a predator better being in a group together versus just one by itself. So a lot of the animals in excuse me, in the savannah are together in herds. Even some of the predators are in herds. Lions are usually in a group. Hyenas are in a group. A lot of the animals stick together in groups in the savannah habitat. And like I said, especially to protect their babies from predators as well. So we know that lions are predators. They're strong, they're large, they can run. And a lion, instead of being called a herd, their group is called a pride, a lion pride. And so lions don't hunt just for themselves, but they hunt for the whole pride. So when they catch something to eat, they bring it back to the pride and everyone eats on that one thing. Okay. So all of the animals usually sleep out in the open, like the open fields. But again, because they're in a group together, if danger's near, they can warn one another. So they don't have like trees or caves for them to hide in. They don't have all that in the savannah. They just sleep out in the open land, just out by themselves. But being that they're in a group, that's what keeps them safe. Okay. So that is how the savannah habitat works. It's a grassland habitat, lots of grass. Animals we find there are like lions, cheetahs, crocodiles, hippos, elephants, giraffes, hyenas, gazelles, zebras. These are some of the animals we will find in the savannah. The savannah has water, but there is a season where it's called dry season, where the water dries up and the animals kind of have to migrate from place to place in the savannah to find water. But there is another season, the rainy season, where it's easy for them to get water and find water. So top predator would probably be a lion. We'll say that he's not the only predator, but the top of the food chain in the savannah would be the lion. And so, of course, we know the savannah's big because a lot of the animals that live there are large. Okay. All right, guys. So that's our science lesson this week on the savannah habitat. We'll go ahead and move on to our social studies this week on page, 94. So we've been talking about the pioneers and how a lot of the first pioneers decided to move west, right? It was getting crowded in the east, and there were some people who were brave. They're called pioneers, who were the first to set out to the west to build everything new, right? To start fresh. So a lot of them would travel as wagon trains, and there would be a bunch of families traveling at one time. They had to make sure they packed correctly, right? Because it was a long journey. They had to make sure that they brought enough food, enough blankets, enough clothing so they could stay warm as they made their journey west. So this week we'll focus on a story. It's not a real story, but it's just a story of a family that's traveling, and it just kind of gives us an idea of what the family how the journey would be for the family as they traveled west. Okay, so let's look at 94. Joshua 94.
Hello, my name is James, and this is my sister Anna. We are on our way to West on the wagon train. We feel excited about this new adventure, but a little sad to saying goodbye to our friends was hard. Bumpity bump, the wagons rolled on, the soon we could no longer see our friends who stayed behind. We are so glad our friends Sam and Matthew are coming west too. In fact, in the wagon right in front of us. That's it.
Okay. All right, so we have James and his sister Anna, and they're part of a wagon train family traveling to the west, right? So they are leaving the east, start life over in the west. And so we had talked about wagon trains already, like it was a covered wagon, right? They would usually have an ox to pull the wagon. They would pack. They could also sit inside of the wagon train, like in the back of the wagon, okay? And so they're beginning their journey. Okay, so they have their friends, Samuel and Martha, that are also on the journey with them as well. Okay, 95, Avaya. Avaya, 95.
I was muted.
Oh, okay.
But I was on the wagon wheels, by the way. The wagon wheels.
Can you just start over so we can catch on?
Okay.
Okay.
Crickety creak. The wagon wheels roll over stones and through the forests. Each day the wagon master leads us as far as he can. Only rainy days is hard to get very far. Our wagon will sink in the mud easily. On those days, we have to make camp until the ground is dry. Days have passed. Day by day, we moved farther west. Day by day, the land changed. The forest was gone. Instead, were uh, there were all candies of flowers, bushes, and trees that we had never seen before. More days have passed. At last, our wagon rolled into the period And now there were hardly any trees. All we could see was a tall
Prairie.
prairie glass waving in the breeze. Sometimes in the morning, the wagon master sends my father and other men on horseback to hunt meat. There are
Prairie.
prairie chickens, rabbits, but what we really hope for is buffalo. A large buffalo would be plenty of fresh meat for everyone. It would taste so good after days and days of salted bacon.
Okay. So as they're traveling, they'll start with a lot of forest and then they'll enter into the prairie area. And the prairie is basically just open grassland, kind of like the savannah, I guess. Just open land. And so as they roll in the prairie, now they're looking for meat, right? And so they did have chickens in the prairie, rabbits, which they could, hunt and get and cook, but they really wanted a buffalo because a buffalo was more meat, right? Of course, and more families could eat on a buffalo versus just a chicken or a rabbit. So they really wanted to find a buffalo because there was a lot of fresh meat for everyone, and they could also get some bacon from the buffalo as well. So yeah, so as they traveled in the prairie, that's some things they looked for was food to find to hunt. Okay, 96. Back to you, Kinley. Let's keep reading about their journey. 96. Anna giggled. The buffaloes have ears. The other children laughed too. The wagon master told us that the buffalo is the largest American animal that the Indians hunt. The buffaloes till they eat the meat and use the buffalo skin to make clothes and tents. Okay. Okay, so of course, they see the buffalo, right? And so a buffalo can weigh 1,000 pounds. Yeah, how much meat that feed, right? That will feed a lot of. So yes, so it could feed a lot of families from the buffalo, right? And so that's the buffalo in the picture there. You can see that. And so the Indians would often hunt the buffalo and they would use the meat to eat, but they would also use the skin of the buffalo to make clothing, to make tents. So the buffalo was very beneficial in a lot of ways. Okay. And so buffalo, they're not only called buffalo, but they're also called bison as well. And yeah, you can, eat the meat from them. No. 97. Noraya. Indian. Oh, is it native? Let me see. I don't know. Okay. You'll probably get to see
one before long, said the wagon master. The next day, as the wagon rode, we did see an Indian. He sat proudly on his fine horse and watched the line of wagons pass by. He seemed to get smaller and smaller as we watched him front the back of our wagons. Each day at noon, the wagon rode to stop. My mother and other women climbed out the wagon and became a prairie lunch. We climbed out of the wagon to Samuel, and I helped feed and water the animals, and Martha stretched their legs and ran. Samuel and I ran too. After our chores, we finished. How good it felt to run after sitting for 5 hours in the wagon.
Okay. So they thought they would maybe see a Native American going throughout their journey. They thought they would see a Native American, and yeah, they ended up seeing someone, a native, and so they continued their journey. And so, what would the women do daily when the wagon was stopped? They would climb out to do what? Yeah, to cook lunch, to prepare a meal, and that's often what they would do. They would travel for some time, stop, because they had to get out of the wagon to prepare food, and that's what they would do. They would prepare some food. Okay. All right, and they would also do their. So the food was usually cooked around a campfire, and so they would use like a Dutch oven to cook all their food. Okay. All right, 98. Okay, 98.
You should have. Who you think?
No, no, you're on the wrong page. It's the next one.
You Samuel and same totally of the game stop for this travel to homes and I and other far away and the small two animals out to stairs.
Okay. So then the children begin to play, and they start to play tag. They start to play tag, right? And so as they're these holes, right? They keep around and they're kind of concerned, like, what are those holes? And then they realize that excuse me, that it's prairie dogs. And so these are prairie dogs are kind of similar to like squirrels. They're a little bigger than squirrels, but like squirrels live in trees, prairie dogs live in burrows and tunnels inside of the ground. So yeah, and so that's what the prairie dogs, that's where they live. And so that's what they saw, the prairie dogs. And so they live in underground colonies and like family groups, and they build their little burrows usually underground. And so when a prairie dog can see a predator, what they'll do is they'll look out their hole and they'll like make a sound to let all the other prairie dogs know that there's a predator around, and they'll go deep inside their burrow and hide inside of that. And so usually they're hunted by like hawks, foxes, badgers, eagles. They usually hunt for them. So just a fun fact, you'll find prairie dogs. Okay, 99. Let's go ahead and finish. Okay. Stop. Okay. 99.
We can look up to see a hawk circle. Wait. We look up to see a hawk circling the prairie dog's town. The hawk watched the holes. Too bad, Mr. Hawk. You'll have to find someone else for your dinner, I laughed. It's dinner. Wait, it's time for dinner, shouted Samuel. Then we ran for dinner of leftover buffalo meat, cornbread, and molas. As soon as everyone finished, we got back into our wagons. I wonder what else we will see today. This land is full of surprises. Surprises! The wagons rode on. Bump, bump, bumpity.
Yeah, bumpity bump.
Bumpity. Bumpity bump. Crack. Crack.
Okay. All right. So finally, they see the prairie dogs, and they actually get to witness the prairie dogs, doing their call that a predator is coming, right? And so they see that, and it was a hawk that was trying to hunt for them. And so then their mothers called them, tell them that it's time for dinner. And so they were excited about their journey. Okay. All right. Let's look at 100. Dennis, 100. So yeah, 100. So that's just a kind of a story that just kind of shows us like what the journey was like for them traveling, west. Okay, so 100, Dennis.
The pioneers had to work together and help each other at night. The wagons formed a circle. This made a fort for protection. It also provided an area to corral the cattle. Coral would keep the cattle from wandering off or being attacked by wild animals. As the pioneers traveled western, many of them put their trust in God for protection. Perhaps as they left the Great Plains and headed into with the Rocky Mountains as they reminded the Lord's constant help.
Okay, good. So yeah, so at night after, because they wouldn't travel all the time, they would actually take a break and rest, and they would actually put their wagon trains in a circle together to make like a fort where they would be safe inside of the fort, because there are predators that are out, and also they had to make sure to protect their cattle as well from wild animals. So they would, at night, they would put all their wagon trains in a circle like a fort, and they would go in the middle of the fort to keep themselves safe from, any predators that might be out. Okay, so this is their journey, and this is how it was when they traveled west. Okay, and so on 101, that is part of it, but it's just a song they would sing on 101. That's it right there. It's a fruit. And then on 102, it's another song, which we'll probably discuss tomorrow. Okay. All right. So that's it for social studies, guys. Go ahead and get out your math. 116B. So yesterday we did A for 116. We'll go to B now. So go to the back. 116B. Maybe not to keep your mouth closed. See, go ahead. Mhm. Huh? Yeah, that's what I just said. Get your math book out 116B. Okay, guys. I'm not saying it right now. See. Y'all stop.
The bracelet on the floor.
Who's it for? Okay, well, they give it to her. All right, 116B. So, guys, yesterday we discussed how to make number sentences for groups. Sorry, I couldn't think of a way to say. Okay, so let's go ahead and we'll practice some more of that today. We're on 116B. Yesterday we were on A. Now we're going to the back of that page. Yeah, so yesterday we were on the front of that. Y'all understand what I'm saying? 116B, we're on the back.
My mom's printing it for me.
Oh, she's okay. Let me know when you get it. Oh, 116B, guys. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and practice a little bit more of what we did yesterday. So remember, whenever we are doing multiplication facts, we are talking about groups of. That's what it is, groups of. Okay, so let's look at our first one. So we have, are we on 5, guys? You on the back? Everybody's good. Avaya, I need your screen on. Thank you. All right, so number 5. So we will have four plates. So let's go ahead and have the 4 plates. 4 plates. 1, 2, 3, 4 plates. That's number 5. We're on 116B. Back of what we were doing yesterday. Huh? No. Yes. Okay, can you sit? Okay. Y'all guys, if someone is asking you to like not be in their way? Like, could y'all just that?
That's what I'm being mean to them. They always do it.
No, you don't, but you don't learn.
That's
Like, you gotta,
backfire.
no, it's not what it is.
Said somebody needs to leave.
Okay, so do we have that?
Yes, ma'am. Four times. Not even friends. Wow. Now, friends.
All right. Okay, so on each plate, I have 2 crackers. So 4 plates, 2 crackers on each plate. So put 2 crackers on each plate. All right, 4 crackers. I'm sorry, 4 plates. Crackers.
I'm gonna do
Mhm. No, I was saying like draw the point number 5.
I think the pattern, because they have square circles. They have square.
Huh? Yes. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and fill in our sentence. So, how many groups? How many plates? 4. So 4 is our first number. So 4 groups of how many crackers are on each plate? So 4 groups of 2 crackers is a total of how many crackers? 8 crackers. So what is our multiplication fact? 4 times 2 crackers equals 8 crackers. So guys, just like when we were doing our addition story problems, we wrote the name of what we were adding. It's the same thing. As you can see, 4 times 2 crackers equals 8 crackers. Same exact thing. We have that one for number 5 online?
Yeah.
Yep. All right, let's go to 6. Number 6. As you can see, now it's just asking for the multiplication fact. So that's what we'll focus on today. All right, so I have 5 papers. So go ahead and draw 5 loose leaf sheets of paper. 5 papers. Okay, 5 papers.
Can't find it. Oh yeah, I have 16 here. 16. Okay. I'm going to go like
All right. Okay, on each paper we have 2 stickers. So 2 stickers on each paper. 2 stickers on each paper. C and B, so I mean, you know, whatever from there.
There.
Mhm. Okay, so let's go ahead and do our multiplication fact. How many groups do we have? 5. So 5 times, how many stickers are on each one?
2.
2, and we have to put 2 stickers. That's why there's a long line for that one. 2 stickers. Make sure you write the word stickers. 5 times 2 stickers equals how many total? 5 times 2 stickers equals 10 stickers. 10 stickers. That's for number 6. Multiplication fact. 5 times 2 equals 10. What are you looking for? Huh? So you need to give me some work. We're not sitting down doing anything. So what you doing? Huh? Okay, so get a different one. That's what you asked me to do. What you need? What you need? What you doing? What are you doing? We're doing puzzles. We're not just sitting down. Or I can print your worksheet. Is that what you prefer, worksheet? So figure out what you're gonna do. Okay. We're not sitting down doing nothing. Okay, so we have number 6. Yeah? Huh? Yeah, 5 times 2 stickers. 5 times 2 stickers. Yeah, quit it, please.
Everybody say she don't want. I don't, I just don't. Oh, yeah. Ashley. What?
Okay, let's go to number 7.
Number 7.
Okay, so we have 3 boxes of donuts. So 3 boxes of donuts. 1, 3 boxes of donuts. 1, 2, 3. 3 boxes of donuts. And there are 6 donuts in each box. I want you to create the multiplication fact. 3 boxes of donuts, 6 donuts in each box. What would my multiplication fact be? For those that have time to do.
Recording in progress. Recording stop.
Yeah. It's cool, because I'm starting to kind of get this a little bit to the max that they want to actually. Thank you. I was very happy to get this because I really I know the numbers once you get them three, I mean nothing. Thank you. But. Well, I mean, I connect in the college, right?
Okay.
This morning, I forgot to get all the fucking in the. Why did you do that? What? Back here, but all. Yeah, but. I'm right. That's not a little bit. Yeah, I'm making. I get the train because it's straight. I not be back.
Okay, whatever, hurry up. All right, so what should our number of sentence be?
3 times 7.
No, it's not. Yeah, 3 times 6. Sorry. 3 times 6 donuts equals
18.
18 donuts. Somebody said, uh-huh. 3 times 6 donuts equals 18 donuts. All right, that's good, guys. We won't do number 7. That's good. All right. Yeah, that's it. All right, guys. So that's all I want. Oh no, sorry, we got some things on the board to cover. My bad. All right, let's start with our multiplication facts up here. 4 times 2. 4 4 times 2. Huh? You're on mute. Ryan? 4 times 2?
4 times 2 equals 4
Equals
times
8.
2.
Okay,
Huh?
Joshua, 10 times 7.
13,
10 times 7.
14,
That's not 14. 10 times 7. That's counting by 10 7 times.
70,
70. Okay, 8 times 5. Dennis?
8 times 5 is 40,
40. All right. Next one. 100 times 7.
Oh, finally, you got the one. Oh. No control of me. I'm taking it actually. Now we don't have a smile.
Okay, 700. Next one. You're writing 9 times 2.
You are too.
Yeah.
Nine.
Get out to get out your driver's license. Three times 0.
Zero because.
0. Anything times 0 is 0. Next one. 5 times 2. Okay, yes, and that's what she said. All right, just give me 3.
I thought it was 2. The marker don't work.
Right on.
It works.
Not that. And then there's another stuff.
That's tape.
Okay, 10. Next one, Dennis. 5 times 5. What was it?
25.
25, all right, and Joshua, 2 times 2.
4.
4. All right, guys, let's review mixed numbers. So remember, in order to write a mixed number, that's a whole number and a fraction together. So let's look at our shapes. How many wholes do we have?
3.
3. 1, 2, 3. When I mean whole, it's by the whole thing is shaded in. So 3, and then we write the fraction of this one. So what? How many are shaded? Out of how many total? 2. 3 and 1/2. That's our mixed number. You'll have that on your book today. All right, guys, so that's it for our lesson. Your story problem in your math book on today, 117, is a multiplication fact. Okay? It's an equal group multiplication fact. You will have to multiply. I'm just letting you know that. Also, make sure whatever you are multiplying, the thing you're multiplying, you write the name of the thing in your multiplication facts. Okay? Oh, we're not done. We have language. Sorry, I forgot. Adverbs. I just thought about it as we were. Yeah, so go ahead and get out your adverbs paper from yesterday. You can go ahead and get that out. You should, because we wrote it down. It was yesterday we wrote the definition and then we listed a bunch of adverbs on yesterday. Get that paper out. In the language, adverbs. And so remember, an adverb is a word that describes a verb, an adjective, or another verb. So what an adverb does, it explains how the verb is done. Remember, we talked about that. It explains how the verb is done. An easier way to remember adverbs is I told you all of them will end with what? All of them usually end with ly. Now, there are a different form of adverbs, but you'll learn that in 3rd grade. We'll focus on what we have to do in 2nd grade. Yes, 3rd grade, you'll learn like the other kind of forms of adverbs, but we'll just learn the ones that focus on ly. So I gave you a list yesterday. Can I hear some of those adverbs that was on our list from yesterday? Adverbs. Gently, softly. What else we have?
Hello.
Sadly. What you said, Dennis?
Color.
Huh?
Color.
That's adjectives. We're on adverbs. Did you write down the paper from, remember on the board? We had to write down the definition and I gave you a list of adverbs. Adverbs end with ly. Like gently, sadly. Okay, Avaya, what you have?
Slowly.
Slowly. Okay, anything else? Immediately. There's no way for y'all to be guessing when I gave y'all the paper yesterday. Clearly. Painfully. What you said, Dennis?
Carefully.
Carefully. Gracefully. Beautifully. I gave y'all a lot yesterday. You were responsible for having that list. So if you don't know what you're going to do on the test Thursday. Okay, so guys, make sure, if not, refer back to the video from yesterday because that's what we're testing on. I'm testing on the definition again this week, and you have to list some adverbs on this week. Okay, and then we're going to add on to this next week. So, yes. So an adverb is a word that describes a verb, an adjective, or another verb. Adverbs end with ly, and they describe how the verb was done. So if I would say ran, and then I say quickly, quickly is an adverb describing how they ran. They ran quickly. Quickly is an adverb in this case, okay? All right, so that's all we have to do this week on the test, but you have to be responsible. I'm not putting it on the board again today because you should have wrote it yesterday. So if you didn't get it, go back to the video from yesterday so that you're ready. Guys, you are going to 3rd grade. And Ms. Harvey, it's a lot of grace with you guys, so you may want to get it together. Okay, so when it's on the board, I need you to write it, and you have to be responsible. You can't come every day and say, I lost it, okay? All right, so that is it basically for our Zoom. Yes, all right, guys, so y'all have a good afternoon. If you need the adverbs, go back to it from yesterday. Y'all have a good afternoon. I'll see you tomorrow for Bible, okay? Bye-bye.